Baltimore won the toss, and they're going to receive. Oakland will kick off. The referee will be Ben Drive. The umpire, Tony Seiko. The head linesman, Cal Lepore. The line judge is Bruce Alford. The back judge is John Pouch, and the field judge is Bob Wortman. Mike Eyeshide will kick off. Duncan and Gardine are deep for the Colts. Duncan, 35, led the American Conference in kickoff returns, 35-yard average. Gardine, a rookie, is number 30. Both excellent kick returners. And here we go. The championship game is underway in the American Conference. Duncan on the 5, 10, 15, 20. Starts to break it, and then he's held up at the 32-yard line. Downfield is 86, Gerald Irons, along with Ted Coy, number 38.
And as you see the dust, the field is in good condition other than a little dusty.
Baltimore's ball, first down on their 33. Unitas at quarterback. They have Roy Jefferson, the flanker, in the backfield. Now they move him over. And hitting up straight ahead goes Tom Nowatzki, stopped by Gus Otto and Dan Connor. Check that, Boulash, 36, who had his biggest day of his rookie year last week with 116 yards against Cincinnati.
And you see Unitas going right at the Raiders' defensive line, trying to get his linemen a chance to gain their confidence, establish their superiority over the other man on the play, right into the line. Good hard hitting to start it off.
Second down, 4. In motion comes Jefferson. This is to get out of the bump and run. That's Boulash taking out tackles and driving for the first down. The big rookie is 217 pounds, runs 109.7. He was the Colts' number 1 pick. And he's really developed. Late in the year, he's learned how to run in pro ball.
And one thing the Colts are extremely pleased with, as far as Boulash is concerned, is that he's finally breaking some tackles downfield. And this is something he got going last week against Cincinnati. They had not had it all season.
They started this setup against the Jets, their last regular game of the year. Now they're back to their old setup of Jefferson right and Hinton left as a wide man. Going straight ahead over the 45 of Baltimore to the Baltimore 47. Nowatzki, a cast off of the Detroit Lions, is tackled by Ben Davidson, the defensive right end.
Curt, with this bump and run style that Oakland utilizes in their pass coverage, Unitas, I think, will try and take advantage of it with the short sideline pass and then down. In other words, faking that quick sideline pass with that good arm fake pump that he does, and then throw deep to the man.
Boulash, Nowatzki set behind Unitas, who hasn't gone to the air yet. Second down, 6. Boulash hits to the 50, just short of it. And right now, Baltimore using a ball control ground game. Carlton Oates, the Oakland left tackle, made the stop. And coming in now is our first substitute, Jimmy Orr, the veteran receiver, replaces the tight end John Mackey on the 49-yard line of Baltimore. So the Colts have 3 outside receivers in the game now: Hinton, Jefferson, and Jimmy Orr. 3rd and 5 for Baltimore. They started this drive under 33. We have no score early in the game. Hinton and Jefferson are lined up to the left or to the right. Unitas for his first pass. He's going to Orr, and he was hit as he let the ball go. He had a good rush from Ben Davidson. George Atkinson was covering Jimmy Orr. And now a punt formation as the Colts are stopped. And going back will be Rod Sherman and George Atkinson. Here's Unitas coming off. David Lee is the punter, and he really hangs him up in the air. He hangs that ball up about 5 seconds when he kicks. He's averaged 45 yards a kick. Plenty of time for his men to get down to cover punt. One of the best punters in pro football. Baltimore should have the edge in punting today. There's a booming, towering, viral. Look at that kick. Hits on the 5, and it's a touchback. Oakland will come back and put the ball in play now in their own 20. That bounced as high as you saw it. Hit the crossbar. Well, watch the Oakland Raiders now go to the offense. They have the #1 total offense in the American Conference. #1 in passing, number 3 in rushing. Very balanced attack. Dangerous receivers in Wells, Biletnikoff, a great tight end who can go deep in Chester, and the backs come out of the backfield. They'll have many 5-man pass patterns. They're under 20 with a first down. LaMonica barking those signals. And bang down in the 21 is Charlie Smith. He's hit by Ted Hendricks and Roy Hilton. Second down, 9 to go for the Oakland Raiders. These two teams did not meet during the regular season. They have played 3 exhibition games. Baltimore has won all 3. Biletnikoff spreads to the right, Warren Wells to the left. Dixon and Smith behind LaMonica. Second and 9. Draw play. Dixon is trapped behind the line by Roy Hilton again, the veteran end of Jackson State. Hilton started out as the number 1 defensive right end, lost the job to Billy Newsom. Newsom became injured. Hilton came back and won the job back again.
And now we face, for LaMonica, one of the first obvious passing situations. And it'll be interesting to see how he works against this Baltimore zone. Some of the openings about 10, 12, 15 yards downfield underneath the deep man.
They have to get to the 30 for a first down, their own 30. 3rd and 12. Out of the backfield comes Dixon, and he's stopped at the 24 by 47, Charlie Stoops. So Baltimore stops Oakland cold on their first series, and it'll be 4th down and 6 to go for the Raiders, and their punting team comes on. Ron Gardine will be back to receive a punt from Mike Eichide, who averaged 39 yards a kick. Gardine, a rookie of Arizona, a dangerous punt returner. He broke 2 or 3 for touchdowns this year. Jerry Logan is the short man. Not too deep. Land is taken by Gardine. He called for a fair catch. He really gambled on that one as he galloped up calling for the fair catch on the run. And he takes the ball dead on the 47-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore with a score. Baltimore nothing and Oakland nothing. Oakland has up front Tony Klein at left end, Oates and Keating at tackles, Davidson to right end. Jefferson to the right, Hinton to the left. First down Baltimore. Unitas going to Jefferson deep. Just missed him out there. Kent McClune on him. Roy Jefferson, who snagged 45 this year, came over in a trade from Pittsburgh for Willie Richardson. Had a big year for the Colts.
And that's the type of pattern that we'd anticipate is trying to beat that bump and run coverage with. It takes an extremely agile athlete to execute that defensive maneuver, such as McClune is trying, and also Willie Brown on the other side.
McClune, I think, was the first man, Kyle, in the AFL to really pioneer the bump and run. Boulash to the Oakland 45. The bump and run now has become a common term. It just means the cornerbacks bump the receivers as they leave the line of scrimmage and then turn around and run with them. They bump them to try and hold them up and confuse their pass route. The linebackers are Lasky 42, Connors 55, and Otto 34. McClune 47 left corner, Willie Brown 24 right corner, Atkinson and Grayson the safety man. 3rd down now. 8 to go as Unitas spreads them out, throws and completes it to Roy Jefferson as he crossed over to the 33-yard line of Oakland and a Baltimore first down.
And we'll see Unitas going back. As we mentioned, he's facing basically a man-for-man coverage, which most of the veteran quarterbacks prefer. And there's Jefferson coming across from his flanker position on the right.
Baltimore with a threat now. They're on the Oakland 33. There's no score. 9 minutes to play in the first period. Unitas pump fakes. Throws deep to Hinton. He overthrew him. He had him wide open. 5 yards beyond Willie Brown, who's sort of shaking his head down there. Unitas gave it the pump fake and then overthrew him. Missed him badly.
And there again, we've seen it on the right side where Unitas just threw it beyond Jefferson's reach. And this time to Hinton on the left side. This is what Unitas will be shooting at, I think. throughout the game until Oakland changes, if Oakland does change. Pretty much they stay in this type of defensive coverage.
Unitas 1 out of 4 so far. Second down 10. Baltimore on the Oakland Raider 33. No score. Just under 9 minutes to play in the first period. Draw play. Breaking through goes Nowatzki. And he ran right over Dave Grayson at the 25 and carries the ball to the Oakland 22. Tom Nowatzki, who was picked up early in the year, perhaps as a linebacker, they thought, although he'd been a fullback. He's played tough the last 2 months.
It gives them two very powerful backs. Nowatzki, 230 pounds. Bulash, about 220, listed at 218.
First down, Baltimore on the Oakland 22. Bulash on the cut to the 20. And he's to the 16. What a big hole, as you saw, up his right tackle. Started out and then made his cutback, and Dave Grayson tackled him.
You can watch this, though, both guards pulling. Barney Johnson, number 61, and a good move by Bulash, weaving in and out of that hole. Picked up about 6 yards on the play.
Dave Grayson, you know, is only 185, and he tackled a 218-pound man there. Grayson, a deadly tackler as a safety man for Oakland. Second down 4. The Colts are on the march. Play action pass. Unitas is going to run with the ball, and he goes to the 10, and he's punched there, just short of the 10. Coming out of the pocket. First down, Baltimore. This crowd roars. This is one of the noisiest crowds, and this is at the open end, but when you get down to the closed end, to the Baltimore goal, the sound is sealed in down there, and it really is tough. We're talking to Willie Davis, the ex-Green Bay captain. He says the Colts get a touchdown on their stadium and the home crowd. Baltimore on the Oakland 10-yard line. First and 10. Bulash. They're running right at him now and taking them. They go to the 5. Tom Keating hit him and knocked him down. Just short of the 5. Put him on the 6. Second down. 4 to go for a first down.
Unitas trying to get this ground game going. He knows what he can do through the air. He knows that if he can get the ground game effective, it'll certainly help his passing. That's been the area they've been most deficient in the running game.
No score. 6.5 minutes to play in the first period. Nowatzki, and he is slowed up at the 5. He wriggled forward. Gus Otto, the right linebacker, 34, hit him. They're going to mark that ball at the Oakland 4-yard line. It's third down and 4 to go for a first down, not a touchdown.
Every time I see Unitas in this position, so many pictures flash from the past. His ability to bootleg, his inclination to do it occasionally.
Well, as Wib Eubank told us, he's the master of the unexpected. Third down 4. They send Jefferson out to the right. Keep hitting him fairly tight. He's going to pass it. Can't find anybody, and they stop him on the 9 and 8-yard line. Tom Keating, that very quick tackle, breaks in, and now the field goal team is coming on. Jim O'Brien, a rookie, the University of Cincinnati, number 80, will be trying to kick. He kicks it. This will be one he remembers, but he'll always remember his first one when he beat San Diego in the opening game of the year. That's Unitas coming off. 28-yard field goal to beat San Diego in the last minute of his first regular pro game. Brian used to be a wide receiver. Used to catch Greg Cook's passes at Cincinnati. 16-yard field goal. Good. And Baltimore's on the scoreboard and grab the initial lead. So the AFC Championship game will continue for Baltimore with a score. Baltimore 3 and Oakland nothing. Well, the Baltimore Colts have dominated this first period. They've run off 17 plays. 17. Oakland has 4. Atkinson and Rod Sherman deep. O'Brien boots it high to Sherman, a yard deep. It's out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and to the 21-yard line. Jack Maitland, the rookie, made the tackle for the Baltimore Colts. You have trouble seeing the Oakland numbers. They're not alone. They wear white uniforms with silver numbers and a bright sun glaring down. It's tough on them. Litnikoff to the right, Wells to the left. Oakland ball on their own 21. Baltimore ahead 3-0. Charlie Smith. He gets to his 24, and that's all. Ted Hendricks, the Mad Stork. The right linebacker, who weighs 217, has been trying to gain weight for 5 years and can't do it.
He's 6'7".
I wish I had his problem. Second down, 7 to go. Oakland on their own 24. They have not moved much against Baltimore so far. And there's a draw to Charlie Smith, and he's racked up by Mike Curtis, the middle linebacker, who is a punishing tackler. Curtis, of course, an outstanding all-pro outside linebacker, converted to a middle linebacker this year. On the 26-yard line of Oakland, 3rd and 4, and the Raiders so far cannot get their running game going. They've had a good running attack all year. This is a tough defense they're facing. 3-0, Baltimore leading. 3:35 to go in the first period. Monica with a big rush on, throws a bad pass to Charlie Smith, threw it in the ground. He was open for a first down at the Oakland 35, but you saw the pass hit in front of him, 5 yards in front of him.
A very tough rush put on by Baltimore, moving LaMonica out of that pocket. As you say, he was going on the run, but it was a bad pass. He had him open.
Well, once again, Oakland has to punt. This will be their second punt. Gardine is the deep man, Logan up short. Eyeshide got a short kick away his last time. This is a better one, a driving spiral. Gardine backpedaling to his 28. Fair catch call there, and the Colts will put the ball in play on their own 28-yard line. Timeout. This AFC Championship game will continue for Baltimore with a score. The Baltimore Colts 3 and the Oakland Raiders 0. Pass presented by the authority of the National Football League and the Baltimore Colts, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast is prohibited. Baltimore's ball on their 28, first down. Jefferson flank right, Eddie Hinton left. Boulash is tackled on his 28-yard line. George Atkinson came up from the safety position, and Tony Klein the left end. So it's still on the Baltimore 28, second down 10. 3 minutes to play in the first period. Baltimore ahead 3-0.
And you know, you rarely see defensive plays that when they're not involved in the tackle. Carlton Oates did an outstanding job. Stripped Boulash of his interference on the play, left him naked.
Second and 10. Quickie to Mackey, the tight end. Look into the tight end, and John Mackey has the first down at the Baltimore 42.
And Unitas reading the linebackers, just looking at Connor moving off to his left, hitting Mackey coming up the seam from the left tight end position.
First down for the Colts in their 42. Boulash dropped by Gus Otto, number 34, on the Baltimore 45-yard line. Gus Otto, an ex-fullback in Missouri. The Raiders converted him into a linebacker. Second down, 7. And when Unitas brings him up, his passing statistics are 2 out of 5 for 26 yards. He's thrown to Mackey once, Jefferson once. He missed Hinton wide open for a touchdown earlier. Full house. There goes Jefferson in motion. Out to take him is McLuhan. Boulash to the 48-yard line of Baltimore. Carlton Oates and Tony Klein. Third down 4 for the Colts. Looks like Boulash, Kyle's going to have a workout today.
Last, I think, against Cincinnati, he carried the ball more times than he carried in his first season. And picked up over 100 yards, 116 or 17, I believe.
The Colts have completely dominated this first period. They've had the ball about 90% of the time. 3rd and 4. Unitas to Hinton. It's good. At the 40-yard line of Oakland as he ran the sideline pattern in front of Willie Brown.
And as Unitas likes to do with his receivers, throwing on the count system, usually on the count system. Occasionally he'll go on a yardage system. But he'll count, he'll tell him to make the break on 3 or 4, whatever the distance he wants. Very difficult to defend against.
First down, Baltimore on the Oakland 40. We're in the last minute of play in the first period. Baltimore's ahead 3-0. Their standard setup. Nowatzki. He spins forward to the Raider 37. He was upended there by Bill Lasky, the left linebacker, who rolled into him and hit him low. Lasky, by the way, is a brother-in-law of Rick Volk, the Baltimore safety man. Sort of a family affair here today. Second down, 7 to go for the Colts. The Oakland Raider 37. Look at those first downs. We're in the last 20 seconds now of the first period. Jefferson to the right, Hinton again to the left. 2nd and 7. He unloads it wide open to Jefferson, and McClellan broke it up and saved a touchdown. They knocked Unitas down. Keating got to him. Jefferson was open, and what a recovery Kent McClellan made.
And I think the fact that Unitas underthrew Jefferson helped McClellan a great deal, if not saved McClellan. Jefferson was wide open. And we'll have another look at it. Roy Jefferson working on Kent McClellan. A little fake to the outside, and then he has him beat. The ball underthrown a little bit. McClellan with good recovery, however. But I believe they had him wide open if the ball had been far enough.
Ray Perkins has replaced Boulash. So the Colts now have 3 outside receivers who are in the slot left. 3rd and 7. Unitas on a hook. Breaking away is Perkins. They had him cold, and he broke away and gets the first down. Maya Wilson hit him and let him slide loose.
And it looked like Wilson down. Looked like Wilson is out. Looked like he knocked his shoulder down on the play.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter, and this American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore with a score of the Baltimore Colts 3, the Oakland Raiders nothing.
Tell him Wilson's down over there.
2 million people in Pakistan are faced with starvation, exposure, and disease. The Pakistan flood was the worst natural disaster of this century. And help out, will you? Send whatever amount you can to save the survivors. Pakistan Relief Fund, Box 1670, Washington, D.C., 20013. Maya Wilson was injured. There he is. I think he had his shoulder knocked down trying to tackle Perkins. Baltimore has a first down on the Oakland 25-yard line. 3-0 Baltimore as we head in the second quarter. The pass to Boulash over his head as Boulash came out of the backfield. 2nd and 10. Well, Baltimore has now run 26 plays in this game. Oakland 8. And get this, Oakland's deepest penetration of the game has been its own 26-yard line.
These Baltimore receivers are getting open in this ball game too, quite a bit. On that last play, Roy Jefferson had beaten Kent McClellan down and over the middle, wide open.
2nd and 10 for the Colts on the Oakland 25. Fake to it gives it to Boulash. And Boulash is down on the 27. And now Baltimore's running game being slowed down. George Atkinson coming up. Gus Otto, the linebacker. And Carlton Oates. That play lost 2. It's 3rd down and 12. Jimmy Orr coming into the game. Going out as Mackey, the tight end. Orr loves to close into this field. And what they call Orrsville. Into the end zone, in the deep corners of the end zone, where it almost meets the stand. He's made some sensational catches in the end zone over the years. He's played 13 years here. Now they're in the slot right. They put Orr to the left. Hinton, the slot man, Jefferson outside him. 3rd and 12. And they're going to Hinton, and he's there. And dropped missed him once for a touchdown, and he dropped that one.
Let's say these Oakland defenders are having their hands full with these Baltimore receivers. This man-on-man coverage is ideal if you can cover, but Baltimore at this point certainly has the advantage.
Earl Morrow will hold. Jim O'Brien now will try a 35-yard field goal. He's kicked a 16-yard field goal. Right in the middle of the field, his kick is up. No good, he missed it. It fades to the right. And so the Oakland Raiders now will put the ball in play on their 20. There's a timeout. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore with a score. The Baltimore Colts 3 and the Oakland Raiders nothing. First down for Oakland on their 20. They've had the ball only 2 series in the first half. Couldn't make a first down either time. And up to the 25-yard line is Hewitt Dixon. They're still trying to run the ball. Rick Bolk, the safety man, former Michigan University player, made the stop.
And watch as Oakland comes out of that huddle again. You'll hear that noise coming out of the closed end of the stadium. And it'll just gradually build and build until you won't be able to hear it.
Wells left, Bolitnikoff right, 2nd and 5 for the Raiders. Again, they're running Dixon, and he has the first down, and he's out of bounds on the 36-yard line of Oakland. Hewitt Dixon, the 3rd leading ground gainer in the conference this year. The Little and Zonka. Ray May, the linebacker, brought him down. And that's Oakland's first down of the game. And this has been their deepest penetration so far. Bubba Smith, Billy Ray Smith, Fred Miller, and Roy Hilton up front. Hendricks is right on the line. He looks like a lineman, but he's a linebacker. He's number 83 on the right. Maybe a blitz coming up. And they read it, and coming through is Dixon. He's to the 50. Hewitt Dixon now eating up the yardage. A 14-yard run with great wedge blocking there by Art Shell and Gene Upshaw.
Perhaps you'll be able to see this blocking on the line. There's Otto taking care of Curtis. Then Shell and Upshaw just splitting the defenders in front of them. And then some great power running by Hewitt Dixon.
Well, evidently the Raiders thought they could run, and they've refused to abandon that game plan. They're staying right with it. First down now on the 50-yard line. And here they come again. It's Dixon. And he powers forward to the 44 of Baltimore. And you notice his second effort. He's been stopped twice at the line and made the yards on his own.
And that time, no hole at all, and he veered off to his right, finally found that little opening, and with his power is able to drive upfield for, as we see, about 6 or 7 yards.
The report on Demaya Wilson, he has a pinched nerve in his shoulder. They don't know how bad it is. Second down, 4. Oakland in Baltimore territory for the first time. The Colts leading 3-0. 12:20 to play in the first half. Charlie Smith, just short of the 40-yard line and short of a first down. Mike Curtis hit him along with Roy Hilton, number 85. And Oakland now is going to have, there's Unitas, is going to have a 3rd and a foot to go on the Baltimore 40. 3rd and a foot or 2 to go. Here comes this roar now. They had to stop one game here last year, 12 minutes and 50 seconds. The fans were unhappy over an official's call against the Colts and the Lions. 3rd and a foot or 2. They go to the 36. Charlie Smith. Jim Duncan, the cornerback, made the tackle, and it's a first down for Oakland. Right now, they're ramming that ball at the Colts on the ground. Every play you'll notice has been to Oakland's left, coming back to that weak side. Now it's strong left with Ray Chester, the tight end, to the left. It's always strong on the side of the tight end. Oakland on Baltimore's 36. Lamonica going deep. And if Bolitnikoff can't quite get it, he was covered by number 47, Charlie Stoops.
And that running game that you pointed out, Curt, Oakland running to their left, concentrating their attack on Roy Hilton and Fred Miller, who have been bothered this season with injuries, both of them. I think they just feel that they'll test them out. They've got some exceptional blocking on that side for Oakland. Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, Jim Otto, the center. Ray Chester, the young rookie tight end, doing good blocking too.
They have a slot right. Wells and Bolitnikoff are on the same side. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Going to the pass again. And it's out. It is incomplete, intended for Wells, who is covered by number 20, Jerry Logan. They're moving on the ground. Now they've gone to the pass. 3rd and 10 for the Raiders. Baltimore's 36. 3-0 Baltimore with 10 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the first half. There are your first down, 7-3 in favor of Baltimore. LaMonica now has attempted 4 passes, completed 1. During the year, he hit 50%. He threw 22 touchdown passes during the season and 2 more in the playoff against Miami. He's had a good interception ratio this year. Been intercepted only 1 time every 24 passes. Hard rush on him. He's down at the 50. Bubba Smith roaring through to get him. Roy Hilton pinched in from the other side. And that takes him out of field goal range.
Smith putting a good move on Harry Shue, the right tackle for Oakland. Gave him a good inside move. Used those hands, came to the outside and around him.
4th down, 23. Mike Eyeshine and punt formation. So Oakland's drive went from their 20 to the Baltimore 36. Gardine, the safety man. Low pass. Gets it away, though. Gardine on his 9. Breaks 2 tackles and comes back to the 10. We have a timeout. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue for Baltimore with a score. The Baltimore Colts 3 and the Oakland Raiders nothing. Curt Gowdy and Kyle Rote again and Charlie Jones. In the white sweater with a stocking cap is Tom Matty, star Baltimore halfback who's been injured all year with a bad knee. And I imagine he wishes he were in there today. But he's rooting for his teammates as Baltimore has a first down on their 10-yard line. They're leading 3-0. 10 minutes to play in the half. The 11-yard line is Norm Boulash. Jammed up by Tom Keating. And the rest of the front 4 will be 2nd down 9. In ground gaining so far, Hewitt Dixon's the leader. He's picked up 34 yards in the ground. Boulash has 29. Baltimore still dominating on the number of plays.
Don't know whether it's significant or not, but George Blanda warming up on the sideline.
2nd down 9. Unitas shoots it to Jefferson, overfires him as he was running a post pattern into the middle. 3rd down 9. So the momentum right now sort of swung over to Oakland.
Sort of a feeling out period. Neither of these clubs has faced the other in regular season play. They've played a few preseason games. But it's a little different in one of these big ones like this. Feeling each other out. As you say, Baltimore had the momentum to begin with. Now it looks like Oakland has been able to shut off their running game a little and get their own running game going.
George Blanda warming up his 43-year-old arm. 3rd and 9, Baltimore on their 11. Unitas goes back the other way, throwing deep to Eddie Hinton, and it is nearly intercepted by Willie Brown. He kicked the ball up in the air in disgust and thought he should have intercepted it. He had Hinton smothered that time. And the Colts are held deep in their territory and now must punt. 4th down, 9. Line of scrimmage to Baltimore 11. David Lee will be punting out of his end zone. He's a 3-step kicker. Atkinson is back deep. In front of him is Rod Sherman, about 10 yards. Lee's had 1 kick block this year. High kick. Atkinson He's going to gamble on it. Fumbles the ball and falls on it on the 44. Another fumble. And who's got it? Baltimore recovers. That's the first turnover in the game. And down at the bottom of that pile. Is Sam Haverlack.
And another look at it. Axton fumbling with that ball. There it scoots out. And we'll see who's down on it. I think it scoots out again somewhere.
Big break for Baltimore. They're on the Oakland 45, the first turnover of the game. At the 45, Boulash is stopped for no gain. Tony Klein coming in from his left end, the rookie from the University of Miami. Second down, 10. The Colts on the Oakland 45. Baltimore leading 3-0. Oakland had stopped Baltimore cold and had a chance with field position to make another threat. And now they're trying to hold in their own territory. Those kicks are so high, they're a real gamble to handle and try and run again. The way Lee hangs that ball up in the air. Unitas on a play-action pass. Lobs it over to Hinton. He's wide open at the 20, and he is down on the 2-yard line. And he's hit from behind there by Willie Brown.
Oh, and that was a good example of the finesse with which Unitas can throw that ball. This was a very delicate type of pass. Just a perfect lob. Had to go over the linebacker, right down into Hinton's hand. And Hinton a little discouraged with himself that he didn't make it all the way across that goal line. Here's him trying to get through there. And you saw one of the Raiders, I think it was Willie Brown, get picked off by his own man when they were trying to cross.
They're in the I formation. They're asking for quiet. Nowatzki and Boulash behind Unitas. First and goal for the Colts on the Oakland 2. Boulash is over. Touchdown. Curt Gowdy and Kyle Rote were set now for Baltimore's kickoff. Jim O'Brien will kick. Rod Sherman, number 13, and George Atkinson, 43, are deep. Swibbler, Atkinson on the 5. It's to the 30. It's a good run back. He's to the 34. First down for the Raiders. And now the complexion changed. Baltimore had a fourth down and it's 11. They punted. Atkinson fumbled. 4 plays later, Baltimore's in for the touchdown. As the Raiders had appeared to be gaining momentum, and then were stunned again. Oakland on their 34 with a first down. They're trailing 10-0. And George Bland is now in. The old man who's pulled him out 6 times this year. They're trying to get him back in. Beautiful protection. He's throwing. It may be intercepted, but not quite by Stoops, who was riding Warren Wells step for step. Charlie Stoops, 4-year veteran from Maryland State. Blanda could have eaten a sandwich and had a cup of coffee that time. Bubba Smith leaving the game, Kyle. Something wrong with him. Billy Newsom now goes in at left end, replacing Bubba Smith. Second down, 10. Both passers have had good protection. Now they're mixed up. Rod Sherman goes to the right. Lamonika's been dropped once. Unitas hasn't been dropped. Second and 10. Blanda setting up a screen. Middle screen to Dixon. They've got it smelled out, though. And he stopped at the 35. There was a fumble, but after the whistle. Ray May hitting first with Mike Curtis and Ted Hendricks. Those 3 linebackers were waiting for that one. Third down, 8. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Baltimore ahead 10-0. Rod Sherman leads the game. Blanda calling a long huddle here. He sometimes even drives the plays on the field. He's got a good one to do
I was
it
getting
here.
ready to say, the
In
ideal
dirt.
field for him today.
Litvinov and Wells slotted to the right. Blanda's pass complete. It's Charlie Smith coming out of the backfield for a first down on the Oakland Raider 49. Mike Curtis, the middle linebacker, took him there. Look at the time Blanda has to throw. Oakland, first down on their 49-yard line. Again, a slot right. 43-year-old George Blanda. Here at Dixon. He stopped at the Baltimore 49 by Roy Hilton, who hit him first to right end. Bubba Smith coming back into the game, number 78. They're going at defensive end, and Billy Newsom leaves. Marv Hubbard now is coming in, replacing Hewitt Dixon. Second down, 8 to go. Oakland needs to score now here at the end of the first half. They're trailing 10-0. Marv Hubbard blasting to the 45 of Baltimore, hit by Mike Curtis again. And when Hubbard and Curtis meet, you've got some collision. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WRC-TV, Channel 4, Washington.
3rd and 5 for Oakland on the Baltimore 45-yard line. Only one turnover in this game, a costly one for Oakland. It cost them dearly. Hubbard and Charlie Smith behind George Blanda. Slot right. Going back pass. Attempt for Litvinov in the dirt. Now it's 4th and 5. Oakland on a Baltimore 45.
George had Biletnikov exactly where he wanted him. Deep enough for the first down and open to the outside.
The Raiders have completed only 3 passes in this game. Gardine deep, high side of punt formation. Logan, the short man. Look out! He just got it away, nearly blocked. Flag is dropped, and here's a costly penalty. They ran into the kicker. This is one of the costliest penalties of football because they'll get a first down out of it. Jim Duncan in there. Oakland gets to keep the ball.
And there's Eyeshide punting. A big rush, about 3 of the Baltimore Colts coming in on him. Taking his time despite that, and here comes the connection. Number 35 for Baltimore, that was Jim Duncan.
That one hurts, pal, and you force that other team, you've held them, and they have to give up the ball, then you have that roughing the kicker penalty. So Oakland now gets their break. Toward the end of the first half, they're on the Baltimore 40-yard line with a first down. 3 minutes and 41 seconds to play in the first half. Baltimore's ahead 10-0. Oakland going with that slot right. Blanda's pass out to Biletnikov, and it is broken up by Charlie Stoops. I don't believe Blanda quite had enough on that one.
You know, if you look at the shadows on the field, you'll see what Biletnikov is having to look back into as he's over there. You see the official right about in the middle of your screen. You see the long shadow. That's just about the area in which Biletnikov is looking directly back into the sun. And that ball, it just looks like a little black dot coming at you. You really can't determine how fast it's coming or whether it's losing its trajectory or not.
The Raiders, who have led the American Football League and now the American Conference in passing 4 years in a row, have only 21 yards in passing in this game. Blanda is going deep, and it hit. Wells on the head was broken up by Rick Volk in the deep zone. He came over and touched the ball, and then it deflected and hit Wells in the back of the helmet.
And Wells is the same fellow who caught that pass right in the last few seconds of the game against the New York Jets this year, which saved the day for Oakland. On a similar play, the ball was bouncing around. It's been deflected by a defender. And he managed to just keep his eye on it, twisting his body around and hauling it in for a touchdown. We're looking for a similar replay right there.
Well, I've seen a lot of Raiders games over the years. I can never remember them held at 21 yards passing in a half. They usually get 300 a game at least. Big rush on Blanda. This pass deflected by Mike Curtis, who had a chance for an interception. Dropping back. The Colts have great linebackers. They're quick. They're good on the drop back, as you just saw Curtis dropping back. And now it's fourth down, and Blanda will try a field goal. He kicked a memorable one of 52 yards to beat Cleveland early in the year. He kicked one of 48 in the last 3 seconds to tie Kansas City. This one is going to be a 48-yard attempt. Duncan will be back on the goal line as a safety man. Lamonic's holding. His kick is up, and it is good. Blanda has the Raiders on the scoreboard with a 48-yard field goal with 3 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the first half. 2 o'clock Eastern Time. The North Seniors against the South Seniors.
If I am correct, according to my information, I think George just broke his own record for a field goal in a championship game. He had kicked one for 46 yards in 1961. That was when he was playing with the Houston Oilers. That was against San Diego. We'll check on that a little further, see if that is the correct information. If that was 48 yards, then he would have the new record.
Well, a mistake on each team has hurt. Oakland fumbled a punt. They were scored on, and Baltimore had roughing the kicker, and they got scored on. Duncan was 15 to the 20. 25. Boo! Looks like Gerald Irons got to him. They took him standing up. Number 86, Gerald Irons, a rookie of Maryland State. Let's go quickly down to Charlie Jones.
Curt, I have a report on Darryl Lamonica. The reason that he was not in at quarterback, he has a pulled groin muscle. He has had it taped up. You will be able to see the tape on him. There is, of course, the possibility that he can come back in. He's having a bit of trouble setting up or keeping his footwork. Let's go back to you.
All right, Charlie. And Lamonica was injured in the American Conference Championship game last year against Kansas City with an injured hand. So he's had bad luck in 2 championship games. This is Nowatzki. He's to the 32-yard line of the Colts. They'll have a 2nd down 7 with Tom Keating on the stop.
Speaking of the Lamonica injury, it seems like the last play Lamonica was involved in was the one where Bubba Smith knocked him to the ground. And, of course, we see that so often in football. You really don't realize what's happening. The man 6'7", weighing 295 pounds, slamming it into the turf. You're lucky if you come out with just a slight number 4.
2nd and 7. Colts on their 33. Unitas 5 out of 13. Lobs it to Hinton and out of bounds. Hinton is arguing that he was interfered with by Willie Brown, who bumped him and then ran with him step for step. Willie Brown, an all-pro cornerback. It'll be 3rd down, 7 for the Colts on their 33. They're leading in this game 10-3, 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the half. Well, if Lamonica is injured and can't come back in, at the age of 43, the load squarely on George Blanda, who has played in spurts and has not played for long periods of time this year. They have a double swing set up now with Boulash spread out wide. Eddie Hinton trying to grab that one. Willie Brown was dashing in to try and intercept it. 4th and 7. And our passing today has not been the greatest as far as efficiency. Unitas is 5 out of 15. Lamonica was 1 out of 4. Blanda's 2 out of 7. Atkinson and Sherman are back deep. David Lee in punt formation. Let's see if he hangs up another high one. He does. He's going to let that one hit. And out of bounds. Atkinson is not calling for fair catches the last 2 times. That goes out on the Oakland 19-yard line where they'll have a first down. A 2-minute warning given, and this American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore with the score. The Baltimore Colts 10, the Oakland Raiders 3. All right, the winner of this game will meet the winner of the Cowboys and the 49ers for the Super Bowl championship, the Vince Lombardi Trophy, on January 17th in Miami, and NBC television will carry the Super Bowl. George Bland at quarterback. Lamonica has a pulled groin muscle. He's been injured. Marv Hubbard trying to get outside. He's to the 20 and falls forward to his 24, where Mike Curtis, who's been all over this field today, and Bubba Smith brought him down. We have had only one penalty in this game, and that was roughing the kicker, which eventually cost the Colts a field goal. Kyle and I did the game Oakland-Miami. They didn't have a penalty in the first half. So Oakland, which has been a highly penalized team all year, the last two games almost penalty-free. Hubbard is not picking up that yardage inside today that we've seen him against Miami and Kansas City. Billy Ray Smith, the tackle, brought him down. The ball now is on the 27-yard line of Oakland. They have a 3rd down and 2 with a minute to go in the first half.
You know, Curt, with Blanda in the ball game, with Earl Morrow backing up Unitas for Baltimore, those 4 quarterbacks, 59 years experience.
We've seen a lot. Here's 3rd and 2. Blanda's going to try and pass for it. He's throwing deep to Rod Sherman. It's intercepted by Logan. Logan brings it back to the 45 and out of bounds on the 41. Hard to throw long against this deep zone of Baltimore. Jerry Logan was tackled by Gene Upshaw, the left guard. Now Baltimore has a chance for a score, and Unitas is the master in the late second.
And in each case, for both Baltimore and Oakland, the long pass has been short. They just haven't had enough on it. Hasn't been far. The receiver's had his man beat. The ball has fallen short.
Baltimore now in the Oakland 41, 35 seconds remaining. They have 5 secondary backs in now. Nehemiah Wilson's come in. And he's over there to cover Jefferson. They'll double team Jefferson. Here's Bulash out of the backfield, incomplete. Lasky covering him, the left linebacker. Unitas, when he ran on the field, raced to the officials and wanted to check the time. He talked to these Baltimore players, and they said, this is the most unemotional man in tight situations you'll ever meet. Nothing excites him. 2nd down, 10. Johnny Unitas, in his rookie year, 56, broke in as a starter, his 6th game of his rookie season, replacing the injured George Shaw. And he's run the Colts team ever since, except the 6th year when he was injured all year. 2nd down. This pass, no good. Eddie Hinton was there, and he was concentrating on keeping both feet in bounds and lost his concentration on the ball. 3rd and 10 now for Baltimore on the Oakland 41. Baltimore leading 10-3, 27 seconds remaining in the first half. Only 3 men, you'll note up front, rushing for Oakland in their prevent defense. They have 5 secondary backs. McClellan and Atkinson are going to double team Jefferson. Unitas, the backfield of Bulash, gets an incomplete pass. And it's 4th down now and 10. And O'Brien comes in for the field goal attempt. He's missed one of 35 yards. He's kicked one of 16. This will be a 48-yard kick with Earl Morrow holding. We've had only 8 completions today and 30 attempts by both teams. 22 seconds to go as O'Brien tries this field goal. This one is up, and it is no good. Atkinson was trying to jump up and deflect it if he could. So the Oakland Raiders take over now on their own 20-yard line. Jim O'Brien 1 out of 3 in his field goal attempts today. Baltimore now will have a 3-man rush of Hilton, Miller, and Smith. They're in their prevent defense. Charlie Smith is stopped at his 23-yard line by the right linebacker, Ted Hendricks. And the clock is moving. That may be the last play of the first half. There it is. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Baltimore Colts 10 and the Oakland Raiders 3. Stay with us for halftime activities from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. The Oakland Raiders are just coming out of their locker room. The statistics are in favor of Baltimore, but one almost unbelievable statistic. To me, if you've watched Oakland over the years, look at their net yards passing. 9 yards, Kyle.
You know, you look at the passing of all of the quarterbacks. Unitas just 5 for 18. LaMonica 1 for 4. Blanda 2 for 8. And it looks like, based on those statistics, and not only the statistics, what we have seen in this first half, whichever quarterback gets the hot hand first will be well on the way, I think, to winning this ball game, because the receivers for both sides have been open. Baltimore with the edge in that department, however, I think thus far. Their receivers having great success. They've had the advantage in the first half. I say the advantage, they have beaten the Oakland defenders more times than the Oakland receivers have beaten Baltimore defenders.
Oakland comes out trailing 10-3, and they're fortunate to be this close. And now there will be 20 at least. 85, at least 16. It's going to be at least a $16,000 second half. And for the winner, maybe a $25,000, $26,000 second half. The winner of this game gets $8,500, the loser $5,500. Then they go to the Super Bowl. The winner of the Super Bowl receives $15,000, and the loser $7,500. Well, you know, NBC sports announcers have voted George Blanda of the Oakland Raiders as the most valuable player in the American Football Conference. He'll receive a Dodge Charger. Dennis Shaw of the Buffalo Bills was voted Rookie of the Year of the American Football Conference, and he'll receive a Plymouth Sebring. Baltimore is going to kick off as we start the second half. George Blanda and Darryl LaMonica on the sideline. LaMonica has incurred a pulled groin injury. We'll see whether he comes out and plays. Sherman and Atkinson are deep for the kick by Jim O'Brien. Curt, Gowdy, and Powell, Rote, and Charlie Jones, and he booms that one out of there as we start the second half. Oakland ball on their own 20, first down. Let's go down to Charlie Jones.
Curt, is still a question as whether or not Darryl will play in the second half. They retaped him, a pulled groin muscle. They're just going to wait and see. They'll play it by ear depending upon what the situation is. If they need him, he wants to play. And he'll just have to try and stay loose and see if it still bothers him. That's the story here.
All right, Blanda's a quarterback. Dixon and Charlie Smith set behind him. Biletnikoff right, Wells left. Here at Dixon. He's hit at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Roy Hilton. And number 21 coming up, Rick Volk. Second down, 10 to go. Baltimore, 42 plays in the first half to Oakland's now 32.
Up until Atkinson's fumble of the punt, the Raiders seem to have regained the momentum at that point, had their ground game rolling. I'm sure they'd like to pick up right where they left off. I'm sure they don't feel 7 points is too big a difference right now.
Second down, 10. Blanda to Biletnikoff. Tries to do his curl, and he's up to his 26-yard line. He's tackled there by number 20, Jerry Logan, with help from Charlie Stoops. Third down, 4 for the Raiders, who have averaged better than 200 yards a game passing this year. They hit 3,000 yards in passing as a team and have 9 net yards passing in this game. Tack on 6 more, gives them 15 net yards. Now they come to this side with a 3rd and 4. them are closed in. Bolitnikoff, he has the ball on his 31-yard line with Rick Volk pouncing on him. And it's good enough for an Oakland first down.
There was one of those great spot passes. I'm sure Blanda told Bolitnikoff, just good enough for that first down. I'll hit you before they have time to come up, and that's exactly what happened.
That's Bolitnikoff's 2 catches now here in the second half. Dixon had 2 and Smith 1. Charlie Smith to his 35-yard line, a 4-yard gain. It's second down 6. Bubba Ray Smith on the stop with help from Billy Ray Smith, number 74, the left tackle. 10-3, Baltimore leading. We're in the first 3 minutes of the second half. Hewitt Dixon getting some room, surges forward. He stays in bounds, and he's at his 44-yard line. Jim Duncan, Mike Curtis in the secondary, and it's another first down for Oakland. The Raiders now on their 44. Coming back to that left side running again, that was effective for them in the first half, but they suddenly stopped and went to the passing game.
And it's predicated on a good block.
The Oakland Raiders on their own 42. 10-3, Baltimore leading. 11 minutes to play in the third period. Bolitnikoff to the right, Wells to the left. The pass is to Wells at the 40. Wells is dumped at the 38. He hit that seam in the zone, and Blanda fired it to him on target, and the Raiders have a first down in Baltimore territory.
And this is what Blanda is best at, working against the zone. He has the patience. He certainly knows the patterns, knows his receivers. And Wells, one of the best receivers, going down. You see him go downfield, turn right into that inside, just in front of Duncan. And a good fake on Mike Curt.
First down for the Raiders on the Colt 38. Blanda with a play-action pass is hit as he releases the ball. Bolitnikoff, touchdown! Stoops fell down. Stoops fell down, a 38-yard touchdown strike, and Blanda was hit hard by Hilton as he let it go.
And the old man is working his magic again. Charlie Stoops, 47, covering on Bolitnikoff. Bolitnikoff all alone. Stoops had fallen down, as Curt pointed out, slipped on the turf. And we'll see it again from a different angle. Be able to see Stoops as he moves back. Tell you, it looked like he didn't even bother with him. Blanda perhaps gave a good head fake in the backfield. Maybe that affected Stoops.
Now Blanda will try the point with LaMonica setting it down for him. And the kick is up and good. And we have a tie game. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore after that 80-yard drive by the Raiders with the score, Baltimore 10 and Oakland 10. George Blanda just took his team 80 yards in 10 plays. That's the second long bomb that has been scored on the Colts all year, with Bolitnikoff catching the 38-yard pass. Only twice has the Colts secondary allowed the long one for the touchdown. High-side kicking. Jim Duncan handles it on his 7, to his 20. Trying to find a crack. He comes out to his 33-yard line. He's hit there by Gerald Irons, number 86, who really gets down there under those kickoffs. Monday night, President Nixon will hold an informal meeting with network newsmen in the library of the White House. See this hour-long conversation with the president. Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on NBC. All right, Johnny Unitas now will go to work. Baltimore under 33. Unitas in the first half had 5 out of 18. They're in a spread formation. Unitas to Hinton. And Hinton still has the ball. On the deflection, Oakland deflected that ball twice and Hinton caught it. George Atkinson finally brought him down. Grayson missed it on the deflection, and he kicks the dirt down there in disgust.
Boy, White says this takes tremendous concentration. Hitting it twice, staying with that ball, even though you know you're right in the middle of heavy traffic. They'll get to see Hinton all alone. Number 33. Flank to the outside is Roy Jefferson. Just down and in. 24, Willie Brown tried to come in and deflect it. Back to live action.
That's Nowatzki. Atkinson from the safety spot. 84 is Tony Klein, the left end. It's on the Oakland 34-yard line. Second down, 7. This game tied 10-all. 8.5 minutes to go in the third period. Remember, it is a sudden death affair if it's a tie. Baltimore has been in a sudden death game back in '58, the famous overtime at Yankee Stadium when they beat the Giants. Unitas to Jefferson over his head. Double teamed, as you saw, by Grayson and McLuhan. Now it's third down and 7 for Baltimore on the Oakland 34.
Now there's one that I have a feeling John intentionally overthrew. I think he saw Grayson coming in from the inside, and that was about the only position that Jefferson had. Number 17, Sam Haverlack, checking into the ball game. Coming out, Norm Boulash.
He's replacing Boulash. Haverlack can throw the ball. I don't know whether they'd have a halfback option. And Nehemiah Wilson comes in, replacing Lasky, the linebacker, to give Oakland 5 secondary backs. Wilson evidently recovering from his pinched nerve in his shoulder. Third and 7. Unitas sets up deep, and that pass is snagged by Eddie Hinton. Hinton making the grab.
Unitas going into that double wing, trying to effect a pure man-for-man coverage, tying up Grayson. We'll watch Ed Hinton working on Willie Brown. And he turned to the inside. A good maneuver. Tough to cover.
Eddie Hinton, the Colts' #1 draft pick 2 years ago, out of Oklahoma University. Boulash is back in the backfield. First down for the Colts on the Oakland 17. Unitas going to Jefferson, and it is no good. He was covered by Kent McLuhan as it just slithered off his hand.
Again, Unitas with that very delicate lob. Timed it beautifully. Real master at it.
Now that pass by Unitas against the bump and run, when the man bumps and the defender turns his back, that's when Unitas likes to lob that ball up in the air with the defender in his back to the pass, doesn't he?
Well, he's done it, and he's tried it early in the ball game. Only his passing wasn't on target early in the ball game. Then he started getting on target, and the receivers began to drop it.
Second and 10. Baltimore on the Oakland 17. Draw play to Nowatzki. Nowatzki is to the Oakland 14, maybe the 13. Dan Connors, the middle linebacker, brought Tom Nowatzki down. Here comes Haverlack back in the game, number 17, and Boulash goes out.
And we'll watch this spread. It'll tie up Dave Grayson, the free safety, if he goes into his double wing again.
Maya Wilson becomes the 5th back in the Oakland secondary. The Raiders have not reached Unitas today. Several times they put a hard rush on him, but they've not been able to get to him. He has them spread all over. Sets up. Now he can't find anyone. He is stopped on the 16. Tony Klein, Carlton Oates from the left side, smother him, and the field goal team comes on for the Colts. Jim O'Brien will kick, and Earl Morrow will hold. This will probably be about a 22-yard field goal attempt. Those goalposts sticking right up there for him. The kick is good. Baltimore's back in the lead. 22-yard field goal by Jim O'Brien. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore with a score: Baltimore 13, Oakland 10. O'Brien gets ready. We're looking at the far sideline. Darryl Lamonica is practicing running back and setting up on his injured groin pull. See if he'd be able to come back in the game. So now Baltimore's grabbed the lead back again, 13-10. They boot it. This one is out of bounds. They'll come back and kick off from their 35. Friday night, Anthony Quayle stars as Adam Strange, master criminologist of Scotland Yard. See the premiere of The Strange Report Friday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time here on NBC. There's LaMonica. Let's see if he does that now. He's been pretending like he's taking the ball. There he goes, and going back to set up. He has his leg taped. He has a bad groin pull incurred in the middle of the second quarter and has not been back in this game. Last year, he injured his hand in the second half against Kansas City, and he had that hand in a cast for a month after that championship game. The kick by O'Brien, another squibbler. Bouncing around for Atkinson. He comes up to the 15, to the 20, tries to break it out. He's hit by Ron Gardine and Billy Newsom, 81 and 30. So it's a Raiders ball. They're on their own 21. Last time they had the ball, they went 80 yards for a score. They're slotting Wells inside of Biletnikoff to the left. Smith and Dixon behind Blanda. Blanda to Dixon. And he's racked up at his 23-yard line. Roy Hilton angling in from his right end position. There's Blanda, 7 out of 13. LaMonica was 1 out of 4 before he was injured. Unitas is 7 out of 21. Second down, 8 to go for the Raiders. They're trailing 13 to 10. A little over 5 minutes to go in the third period. Charlie Smith coming back to the weak side. Bulldog out of bounds by number 35, Jim Duncan, the cornerback. And they spot him out on his 26. A gain of 3, third and 5. A fourth linebacker coming in now, Bob Grant, replaces Billy Ray Smith. Baltimore will probably have a 3-man rush with 4 linebackers and the deep zone against the pass. They haven't gone to Ray Chester, the tight end, yet in this game. There, they overthrow him that time. They went to him for the first time and missed him. He's been getting low passes from center. Floating spiral, Gardine on his 35. And is down on his 35. Gerald Irons, number 86, got to him again, along with Dwayne Benson, number 50. Baltimore's ball, first down on their 35. Timeout. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore with a score. The Baltimore Colts 13, the Oakland Raiders 10. Baltimore's ball on their 35-yard line, first down. They're ahead, 13 to 10. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Unitas complete on a diving grab by Eddie Hinton. And the ex-Oklahoma star now has caught 5 passes in this game. It's a first down for the Colts on their 48.
And a well-thrown ball by Unitas. Gus Otto, the linebacker on that side, was trying to make his drop out of that area. But the ball was zipped so hard, Otto just missed trying to pick it off.
Unitas now has hit 8 out of 22. The first half, he had 5 for 18, so he's 3 out of 4 in the second half. Norm Bulash powers to the Oakland 45. Was finally taken down by Tony Klein, who came all the way from his left end position to pursue him.
A couple of great blocks, Tom Nowatzki and Bob Vogel sealing off that corner, allowing Bulash to get around.
Second down, 3 to go for the Colts on the Raider 45. Bulash, with a sudden tailspin, Klein got underneath him and dumped him. Let's leave it on the Oakland 45 and make it 3rd and 3 now for Baltimore.
Unitas has felt very comfortable about his protection, apparently. He's been sending his backs out of that backfield quite a bit. We'll see if he stays with it or holds one of the men to help him out on his pass protection. 3rd, short yardage.
Hinton left, Jefferson right. 3rd down, 3 to go for the Colts in the Oakland 45. Gonna throw for it. Crossing pattern to Jefferson. 1st down, Baltimore. Just running a slant. It's on the Oakland 34-yard line where the Colts have a 1st down.
Jefferson going out. He'll just step right in behind. 88 Mackey cleared out the area for him.
So Unitas getting hot here now, has hit 4 out of 5 in his 3rd quarter. Baltimore has a 1st down on the Oakland 34. He's going deep to Jefferson, McClure there, and it's over their head. 2nd down, 10. Baltimore on the 34-yard line of Oakland. Baltimore leading 13-10, 2:53 to go in the 3rd period.
That time, Unitas haven't really an option either way you want to look. Jefferson on the right, Hinton on the left. They've both gotten past their men.
And he looked left first, then came back to the right. Remember the Super Bowl game, January 17th. The winner of this game will play the winner of the 49ers and Cowboys. Be on NBC television from Miami. Bulash in the draw play. Big power runner. He's making his own yardage here in the 2nd half. He's at the 25-yard line of Oakland. A 9-yard gain. It's 3rd down and a yard to go. LaMonica warming up now.
Ideal for Unitas in this particular situation with such short yardage. He's not adverse to going on top, not going for the 1st down, but going for the long one.
Vogel goes to a tight end. They have a double tight end setup now with a short yardage. Bulash close to it. That was Vogel down at the bottom of the pile, 72. They moved him from a tackle to a tight end. Tom Mitchell, the other tight end, has a damaged knee. And they're going to measure. They've got it by an inch. Johnny Madden. Not much emotion on that one. Baltimore on the Oakland 24. 1st down, and the Colts have driven from their own 35. They're controlling the clock in the late stages here of the 3rd period. They're leading 13-10. To Jefferson. Jefferson, the former Utah star, is out on the 11. And he came back to the pass.
And this is the job of trying to cover someone like Roy Jefferson. The bump by Kent McCloughan. Now the quick turnout, the ball already in the air. And then that power driving after he catches the ball. Unitas throws that ball on time and on target. It's almost impossible to break it up.
1st down, Baltimore on the Oakland 11. Here's Bulash. He's roaring for that end zone, and he's in for a touchdown. 11-yard run by the rookie who's been gathering momentum with the season. Norm Bulash of TCU goes over.
And the man that grabbed him, Tom Nowatzki, threw a great block. Maybe you'll be able to see it. Right at the right of your screen. There they all go down, enabling Bulash to step outside, and then from that point on, it was all on his own.
Now the Colt players say he's just learning how to run, how to follow his blocking, how to cut. in the pro game. He was the Colts' #1 pick. And it looks like they made a good one. The kick is good by O'Brien. And the Colts now increase their lead. 20-10 in favor of Baltimore. Super special weekend, January 16th and 17th. The Bing Crosby Pro-Am. On Saturday at 6 o'clock, Sunday at 5:30. A documentary on the life of Vince Lombardi will precede the Super Bowl telecast at 12:30 p.m. Sunday afternoon, the 17th of January. We'll have a pregame show with Joe Namath, special guest, at 1:30 Eastern Time, and then the Super Bowl game. The winner of this game against the winner of the Cowboys and 49ers. All on NBC. And that big Sunday will be capped off with the finals of the Bing Crosby Pro-Am. Here's the kick. That was a 65-yard drive by Baltimore. This one's going to be down for the touchback. Oakland's ball, first down on their 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plays on that 65-yard drive for the Colts. Landa's still in at quarterback. LaMonica's been injured. Hewitt Dixon veering to the outside to his 25-yard line. Number 35, Duncan. Rick Bolt coming up. And also number 56, May. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WRC-TV, Channel 4, Washington.
Second down 5 for the Raiders. The pass complete to Warren Wells. Wells breaking up the field and out of bounds on the Baltimore side. A flag is down. We've had only one penalty called in this game, roughing the kicker, and here's the second one. It's against Oakland. Only one penalty until this flag has been dropped. This is half the distance to the goal. Probably holding on pass protection. That's what it is. Puts the ball back on the Oakland 10. They now have a second down and 20 yards to go.
They talk a lot about this noise, and when they break the huddle, you'll hear it build up again. I know when the Giants played their title game down here, we worked for a week with hand signals from the quarterback to communicate to the wide receivers in the event that it got too loud. And for a period there, I think we had to use them.
Second and 20. Raiders are trailing now 20-10. Landa throws it deep to Ray Chester, the tight end, and he's down, but he's got a first down. Number 21, Rick Bolt brought him down, and if he had not, Chester was on his way for a touchdown.
Here it is again. Landa throwing to Ray Chester, splitting Duncan and Bolt. This is Chester coming off that line of scrimmage, getting past number 51, Bob Grant, the linebacker. There was Duncan trying to keep up with him. Volk in for the tackle, back to live action.
You saw how well Chester can get downfield as a tight end. Landa again down the middle, completes this one over the 50. And it's forward motion stopping at the Baltimore 49. Hewitt Dixon sifted out of the backfield for that pass. There's the gun and the end of the third quarter. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore with a score. The Baltimore Colts 20, the Oakland Raiders 10. This is Curt Gowdy, Hal Rote and Charlie Jones, Johnny Madden, Dick Wood, one of his assistants, and LaMonica with his cape still on. There's Don McCaffrey and Johnny Unitas conferring on the Baltimore side as we go into the fourth quarter. Oakland's ball on the Baltimore 49 with a second down and 4. 20-10 Baltimore. His pass to Warren Wells. Wells is stopped at the Baltimore 11. Landa hit him right down the middle, a perfect lead.
There it is, right in between Duncan and Logan. Logan, the safety man. Duncan, number 35. Right over the head of number 56, the linebacker Ray May. You can watch him go downfield. Little inside move on 21, Rick Volk. Then picked up in the deep zone by number 20, Jerry Logan.
First down for Oakland now in the Baltimore 11. Look out. He's hit from behind and he's buried. Baltimore's had a better pass rush today than Oakland. That's the third time they have sacked the Oakland quarterback. Once on LaMonica, twice on Blanda. Back to the 17-yard line. Second down and 16 to go for the Oakland Raiders on the Baltimore 17. Wells to the left, Biletnikoff to the right. That's complete. Ray Chester spun around by Logan to the 15. The play gained only 2 yards. It'll be third down and 14 to go for Oakland.
And the way Baltimore was set defensively that time, it's awfully difficult to get an open man to pick up any yardage. They had 4 men in their secondary against 2 receivers. "43-year-old George Blanda. He's amazing. He's hit 11 out of 18. His club trailing right now 20-10. Watch his backs coming out of that backfield.
That pass is a touch. No, it is. He's over for a touchdown. He had the ball in time possession of Oakland scores on a Blanda to Wells pass. And the old man now has tossed 2 touchdown passes in this game.
You know, we've seen him throw that same pass, Curt. Just that little down and look in by Wells. Wells had possession as he crossed the goal line, and once you cross that goal line, all play is over. You see it from a different angle, going down, working on Duncan, cutting to the inside, right in the seam between 21 Rick Volk and Duncan.
And they're throwing snowballs out now at the officials. Here's the kick. It is up and good by Blanda. Well, neither team was hitting too much with their air attack in the first half. But now, 2 veterans, 37-year-old Unitas, 43-year-old Blanda, really getting hot. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue for Baltimore with a score. Baltimore 20 and Oakland 17. Unhappy, but they ruled out a completed pass because Wells had possession and control. Looked like he carried the ball 2 steps when he crossed the goal line, and as soon as he was over that goal line, it was a touchdown, no matter whether he dropped the ball after he got in there or not. So now it's 20-17, and the kick by Eichscheid is coming to Duncan on the 8-yard line. Duncan is brought down on his 33. Dwayne Benson and the kicker Eichscheid down. Baltimore's ball, first down. Unitas in the second half has hit 5 out of 8. In the first half, he hit only 5 out of 18. Blanda, playing in place of the injured Darryl LaMonica since the middle of the second quarter, is 12 out of 19, and he's hit 2 touchdown passes. Jerry Hill and Boulash now are the setbacks behind Unitas. He's under the pressure. The pass is nearly intercepted by Willie Brown. Brown's had his hands on the ball several times today. They have not been easy attempts, but he can't quite hold on to them in the secondary. But they've all been tough attempts for him.
And that's where this game is shaping up. There's going to be won or lost at those cornerbacks for both sides. Either an interception or a touchdown, it seems the way they're throwing at him.
Remember, this is sudden death if they wind up in a tie. They'll have a 3-minute breathing spell, and they'll go into an overtime if they're tied, and the team that scores first will win. Right now, Baltimore's leading 20-17. Unitas pump faking and is dumped. He couldn't find a receiver, and he ate the ball. He's down at his 32-yard line for a yard loss. Ben Davidson, the handlebar mustachioed right in, dropped him. Ray Perkins and Jimmy Orr, they get a couple of fresh outside receivers in the game now. Replace Mackey, the tight end, and Bulatz. They now have 4 wide receivers in the game: Hinton, Jefferson, Perkins, and Orr.
Perkins will set up under normal conditions in the backfield, but you can watch him go right out of that backfield into a passing pattern. That is, if John doesn't set him out as a flanker back to begin with.
And Nehemiah Wilson,
like he will.
Pardon me, Nehemiah Wilson comes down. There's a double slot. That's just a spread. It's like the old TCU spread of Dutch Myers. Here's Unitas throwing out here to Perkins. He's on the way unless he's caught by Wilson, and it's a touchdown for Perkins.
Well, that's it. That's what Unitas likes, that one-on-one coverage. It's a predictable type of defense if you can get a man open, and there it is. Perkins beating Nehemiah Wilson. Wilson taking that last lunge. Ray Perkins coming off the line again. Wilson giving him the bump and the little out. And it's a foot race to the goal line. Perkins wins.
68 yards, Ray Perkins, former star at the University of Alabama. He hasn't played much today, but that one play is a big one. They had him 3rd and 9. They put in 4 outside receivers. Spread them out, and it paid off. The kick by O'Brien is good. Timeout. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue for Baltimore with a score now. Baltimore 27, Oakland 17. Johnny Unitas just tossed the 68-yarder. This is his crack in a 5th championship game. 2 years ago, it looked like his career might be over with tendonitis, but he's bounced back. O'Brien rides that one deep. And they're going to down it for a touchback. Remember now, at least $16,000 is riding for the winner. The winner of this game, each man gets $8,500. If they go to the Super Bowl and lose, they get another $7,500. That's 16. If they win in the Super Bowl, the winner of this game, by winning today and in the Super Bowl, each man could get $23,500. Oakland now must come from behind again. They're trailing 27-17. George Blanda passing to Fred Biletnikoff. And Biletnikoff is out of bounds on the 44. A first down for the Raiders. Remember the Super Bowl with a pregame special. Go name of the night will be on. And then we'll have the Super Bowl game on the 17th. The winner of this game against the Cowboys or the 49ers from Miami, Florida. First down for Oakland on their own 44. 2 amazing old-timers today performing. He's unloading, trying to unload, and he's down with a rush at the 33 by Roy Hilton to right in. Oakland ball on their 33. They lost 11. It'll be 2nd down and 21. Eddie Hinton has been the leading pass receiver. He's caught 5. Biletnikoff has caught 4 balls. Wells has 3 and Dixon has 3. That pass to Wells. He hangs on to it as he was jarred from behind at the 48-yard line. He is short of a first down, though. They're in Oakland territory. Hitting him from behind was Jerry Logan, and how he racked him.
You know, Blanda coming right back from being blitzed and driven to the ground on the play just before that. Going right back, sending both backs out of the backfield again, stripping himself of any added protection, and throwing a fairly deep pass.
3rd down now and 6 to go for Oakland on their own 48. Baltimore leading 27-17. 10.5 minutes to play. A slot right for the Raiders. He's going deep to Sherman, and it's intercepted, dropped by Jerry Logan. He had it. Look at him on the ground. Now the defensive squad gets a big hand as they come off here before these Partisan Colts fans. Fourth down and 6. Gardine back as the safety man. Eyeshide will be the kicker. Kind of hanging up on the goal line. Fair catch by Gardine. And that kick is in. Touchback. They were watching Gardine after he called a fair catch. Looked like he was going to try and go up and block somebody, which is illegal. The Senior Bowl will be on NBC television January 9th. Top college seniors of the North against the South. 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
And we have Unitas with 10 minutes, 8 seconds left. A lead of 10 points.
Baltimore has not had a turnover today. They have not fumbled the ball away, nor have they been intercepted. Jerry Hill. Hill smashed down on his 21-yard line. Ben Davidson, the right end, number 83, and Carlton Oates, number 85. Well, the Colts, who said they haven't really put it all together in one game yet. I don't believe they've been penalized only once. That was roughing the kicker. They have not fumbled the ball away, nor have they been intercepted. And that's playing nearly perfect football. No mistakes. Gulash. So he's 26 or 27. Then Davidson hit him again.
Under normal conditions, Unitas probably would not want to put the ball in the air at this point. With 10-point lead, time in his favor, but yet he has about 3 yards to go. See what way he may choose to keep it on the ground if he does.
The rookie coach, Don McCaffrey, with his arms folded, will watch his team now on a 3rd and 4. They're leading 27-17, the Colts are, just under 9 to go. Gulash runs it for that first down. Oh, he has real power. He's a leading ground gainer. Looks like he's just coming into his own. He had only a 3-yard average all year, but he got 116 against Cincinnati in the playoff game last week, and now today he has around 70 yards.
This Baltimore offensive line is really moving out. They're getting their guards cleared out of that line to get in the interference very quickly, and the off tackle getting across and making a block.
First down for the Colts. Jerry Hill has had injured knees the last 2 or 3 years. University of Wyoming star. Been a key performer in a 9-year period here with the Colts. On the Baltimore 34. It's 2nd down 8. Baltimore ahead, 27-17. Trying to hang on and wind up in Miami on the 17th of January against either the Cowboys or the 49ers. Long huddles, long signal counts, utilizing every second. Puts it in the air, completes it. Oh, no, he's out of bounds, they say. He's out of bounds to Roy Jefferson. That was called by the head linesman, Cal Lepore. And if you think a head linesman just stands on the line of scrimmage to see who's offside, they have to be in shape, and they go down those sidelines with those receivers. And you saw him get down there right with the cornerback and the receiver, just as fast as they were.
And the official can't really afford to watch that cornerback too much because the United is so good at faking in that backfield.
Mackey has come out as a tight end. Jimmy Orr is in. Gulash and Jerry Hill set behind Unitas on 3rd and 8. He is going deep again to Hinton over his head. That was the same, almost the same pattern that he sent Perkins on, but he hit him for 68 yards and a touchdown on a 3rd and 9 play. Right now is a big difference in this game here. As with 7:26 to go, the Colts will be in a punt formation. Rod Sherman and George Atkinson are back for the Raiders. Shank that one. And it's touched by Sam Haverlack at the 26-yard line of Oakland. Timeout. This American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore with a score. The Baltimore Colts 27, the Oakland Raiders 17. Third, when Darryl LaMonica incurred a pulled groin injury. If you're wondering what would have happened had Blanda become injured, we don't know. Rod Sherman played quarterback at one time. Here's a draw play. Roaring through is Charlie Smith. And he's finally down on the 47-yard line of the Oakland Raiders, or the 46. It'll be a first down. 20-yard draw play. Oakland ball on their own 46. Clock is moving under 7 minutes to go. Baltimore ahead 27-17. Blanda to Ray Chester, can't hold on to it. Incomplete, right on him was Ray May, the linebacker, number 56.
Chester losing his concentration. He knew Ray May was right behind him, the linebacker, trying to see if he could have enough room to cut up that sideline if he caught it.
Blanda 14 out of 22, and the old geezer has passed for 227 yards today. Unitas at the age of 37 has passed for 245 yards. This passing game by Oakland in the second half has been more their par. They had only 9 yards in the first half. Warren Wells. First down at the Baltimore 32 or 33-yard line. Blanda. Let's see, who is it? Jim Otto is hurt.
There's a good look at Warren Wells turning into that little opening right under the deep zone. 21 Rick Volkin on the tackle.
Jim Otto is injured, one of the 3 original members of the American Football League that started back in 1960. He's been with the Raiders ever since. And he, of course, has to hand the ball back. And now Bueller comes in to replace him, George Bueller. And Kyle, couldn't this maybe bother the timing of Blanda?
Well, I would think so. I'm sure they have worked with Bueller before, but or they wouldn't be putting him in the spot. But what it might do is affect some of that protection up there. However, Bueller, good-sized man himself, 6'2", 260, relatively inexperienced compared to Jim Otto's 11 years. This is just Bueller's second year.
Well, the Raiders have lost their starting center and their starting quarterback with injuries. First down, Oakland on the Baltimore 33. Blanda unloads it to Chester. It is intercepted by Baltimore. Rick Volk intercepting. On that deep zone, he came over to intercept against Chester.
As they say, he went to the well once too often, trying to get into that opening. Perhaps had to hold off a little bit, then decide to throw it. That little hesitation allowed the defenders to get into position.
Baltimore's ball on their 5-yard line. That's the 3rd turnover Oakland has had. Baltimore has not turned the ball over once in the game. Jerry Hill to the 7 of Baltimore. And the clock moving now. Baltimore leading 27-17. 5.5 minutes to play.
Most critical for Oakland to shut off the Baltimore running game at this point. Otherwise, Unitas will just run that clock as far as he possibly can.
Hinton to the left, Jefferson to the right. Unitas in a tight game against Boston. Pass deep in his own territory. Kulak has jumped on the 2-yard line. A few times that he hasn't broken tackles today, as the safety man of Oakland, George Atkinson, dropped him to the ground. 3rd down, 13. Baltimore on their 2. Under 5 minutes to play. Baltimore ahead 27-17. A 68-yard pass on 3rd and 9 by Unitas to Perkins has loomed larger and larger in the late minutes, as at that time Baltimore had a narrow 20-17 lead. And Boulash is stopped at the 5 or 6 yard line. It'll be 4th down for Baltimore, and their kicking team comes on.
And at this point, Oakland will probably jam rather than go for blocking the kick, because they have not really come close to blocking the punt. Probably jam that entire Baltimore front line, trying to keep any penetration downfield to get a good return.
David Lee punts. Sherman and Atkinson are deep. A high kick, but not a deep one. Fair catch called by Sherman on the Baltimore 38-yard line.
See Jim Otto back in the lineup.
Oakland now with a first down on the Baltimore 38. They're trailing by 10 points. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Warren Wells to the left. Biletnikoff is the wide receiver to the right. Marv Hubbard. Flag is down. Flag has been dropped. No good, but a flag down.
Not sure, but it looked like Oakland's right tackle may have moved just a little bit before that ball was snapped. We'll see.
First and 15. Baltimore, no fumbles, no interceptions, and only one penalty the entire game. Johnny Madden yelling something out to his team. First and 15 now. There's a screen to Hubbard. And he's stopped at the 38-yard line of the Colts. Gets the 5 yards back. 2nd down and 10. Curtis made the stop. We're approaching 3 minutes to go in this game. Hubbard's out. Uric Dixon has come in to replace him. It is to Biletnikoff. He can't get it. 3rd and 10 for the Raiders from the Baltimore 38.
Blanda had the right idea in mind. Again, sending Biletnikoff just beyond the first down marker, underneath the deep zone.
As they come up to the line of scrimmage, there are 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. A 10-point lead for the Baltimore Colts. That pass is to Chester, and it is intercepted. They were back there with him, and it is the linebacker, May.
And that shows you how
May.
that deep zone works, how deep May was. He must have been 25 yards deep when he made that interception. And they were actually going into a weak side roll, rolling toward the split end rather than toward the tight end and flanker back side.
That's 3 interceptions for the Colts in this game. Sam Haverlack now is in, along with Jerry Hill as a running back. That's Hill. And he's up to his 14, 15-yard line. Colts now trying to freeze the game away. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. There's a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go. Both benches being warned. So this American Football Conference Championship game will continue from Baltimore with a score. Baltimore 27, Oakland 17. Coach. Had just sent Johnny Unitas back in the field after they conferred. It'll be second down, 6. Baltimore in their 15. They're leading 27-17. And Haverlack to his 17. Well, that big play, the 68-yard pass from Unitas to Ray Perkins. At that time, Baltimore leading 20-17. Because later here in the game, well, Oakland was just on the Baltimore 38 in field goal range. So that play turned the strategy around here. The last 8 or 9 minutes of this game. It'll be a third down and 4. Boulash is replacing Haverlack. All Baltimore has to do now is hold on for 1 minute and 55 seconds. They're in the Super Bowl then, if they hold on. They'll play either the San Francisco 49ers or the Dallas Cowboys. January 17th, NBC television will bring you the big Super Bowl game, starting at 1:30 Eastern Time, Sunday the 17th of January. Boulash has stopped short of a first down. And again, Oakland comes in to stop the clock. They have 1 timeout left. The punting team comes on for Baltimore. I want to thank Will McDonough today and Ron Thomas, who assisted us here in the booth. John Schneider handled the statistics you saw. Johnny Madden has his glove out there with last-second instructions. And our stage manager today has been Ed Prendergast. Well, Oakland's had some miracle finishes, but this will take their all-time miracle today to pull it out. Rod Sherman and George Atkinson are deep. David Lee in punt formation.
The one thing Lee does not want is a low liner. He's trying to get that ball up in the air.
Oh, he really booms it out. Sherman takes it on his 26, or Atkinson. It's Sherman, and he's back to his 36. First down for Oakland. That was a 57-yard kick from scrimmage. And a 9-yard return. The clock is moving. Oakland ball on their 35. Blanda throws it to Biletnikoff. Biletnikoff is down on the Baltimore 46 for a first down. Roy Hilton brought him down, number 85. 1 minute and 15 seconds to play. The Raiders desperately trying to beat the clock now. They're trailing 27-17. He throws. Wells can't get it. He's out of bounds. Wells trying to make that diving catch in front of Jim Duckett. The clock stops exactly 1 minute to play. So after that incomplete pass, Blanda 17 out of 29.
It looks like Blanda's going to have to go into the middle of the field. I know he wants to try and get to the sideline to stop that clock, but they are just flying back right to the sideline. The 2 outside linebackers, Ted Hendricks 83, that'll be at the top of your screen, and below Ray May, they're flying right to the corners.
Third down. He's buried. Bubba Ray Smith at him, number 78. That's the 5th time they sacked the Oakland quarterback. Blanda must be tired. He's played since the middle of the second quarter when Darryl LaMonica became injured. And you know, Kyle, for his age, he's put on an incredible performance here.
I was going to say he's also played for 21 years, not just football, but in this particular level of ball.
Third down. Correct my down. Third down. 20 to go. No good. He trapped the ball. Wells trapped it. It's an incomplete pass. Now the clock is stopped for 36 seconds.
George had him open, just not enough on the ball.
It'll be 4th and 20. Billy Newsome comes on the field. and replaces Billy Ray Smith, who gets a big hand, a veteran here of 12 years with the Colts, being hugged by his teammates. Maybe the last gasp for the Raiders. And they're going for the bomb to Biletnikoff, and he can't quite get it. Baltimore will take over, and that should wrap it up for him. The Baltimore defensive team getting a hand. They have made their last stand of the American Conference season, and their next stand will be in Miami. (27-17) Baltimore. 29 seconds to go. Johnny Unitas still in there. They're not going to take any chances. Give it to Nowatzki. Unitas has not had an outstanding passing percentage day. 11 out of 30. Oakland takes his last time out. But he's hit on the big ones when he had to, especially the 68-yard pass in the fourth quarter to Ray Perkins. That sent the Colts, instead of just a narrow 3-point lead, to the 10-point lead. That has changed the Oakland strategy because they've had to go for a touchdown. Don McCafferty said, you know, we're the new kids on the block. We're an old pro football team. We have many veterans. We've been a traditional winning team, but we're a new kid on the block team in a new conference as we moved over. So I said, we want this one back. Don McCafferty, 11 years an assistant coach here, 10 years an assistant coach at Kent State. A very private man. But now he's going to be a public man after today, especially when he goes down to that Super Bowl. Second down, 8. A sneak by Johnny Yu. Oakland's out of timeout. That will probably be the last play of this game. The Baltimore Colts are the champions of the American Football Conference. 37-year-old John Unitas, late in his career in the twilight, has led them to another title. And Don McCafferty winning a championship in his first year as a pro head coach. Johnny Madden, the youngest head coach, the loser today, looking for McCafferty. You can always go back and play a game. You might wonder what would have happened if LaMonica had not become injured. But Blanda did a great job.
But an outstanding season both ball clubs had.
Right.
Of course, Baltimore, as we say, will be back in the Super Bowl. The Oakland Raiders through for the year. With some great thrills they provided along the way.
And that's the end of the game. The final score, Baltimore 27, Oakland 17.